All right, so it looks like we are live. Let's see. Don't really know yet. Let me check my phone. I'm sure you guys will let me know. Do 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 do. All right, so we are live. Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm gonna do a lot of clearing my throat today. Had a lot of post nasal drip. Gotta love this time of the year between coronavirus, allergies, and everything else is just fantastic. I am supposed to have a guest on tonight. However, he texted me for the link, gave it to him, probably a little too late. So I'm just going to see if he shows up. I don't want to say who it is just yet. It's kind of a surprise. Um, so let's just do the roll call. Hopefully he shows up. So I got Double B, Nick Rodriguez, Double X, C Kim, Scott P79, Pistol Pete. Yeah, the pin is pretty screwed up, isn't it? Double B, I said already. KS Gun Guy. Wow, who is that? Good to see you. Dennis B. Guy Comet. Dan O'Neill. I already said Pistol Pete. Pat 8473. Dexter. Dan O'Neill. Nuno Correa. Ripcord Jr. Keenan, my friend Keenan. Keenan. Ohio Gear Guy. Hello, sir. So, hi, everybody. I hope you are all doing very well tonight. Obviously, we've been dealing with quite the amazing situation in the United States, especially in New York. We are apparently ground zero again. So, this week is supposed to be super bad with the death totals, but hopefully it won't be as bad as they say or predicting. Basically saying everybody stay away from everything, grocery stores and all this other stuff. So, we'll see how it plays out. I got a little late on here, which is why I didn't get that link to that person quick enough. But here he is. Let's get you on here, buddy.
What's up?
All right, let's see. Your microphone. There you are. I think I can hear you. Speak.
Can you hear me?
No. Well, maybe it's me. Hold on. Let me disconnect my mic.
I hope you can hear me because for the first time my mic was working. I can't hear you now though. So still nothing. But I can see your face move.
There we go.
There we go.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
All right, perfect. This is what happens when you're just going out of your mind inside your house for 2 weeks at a time. It's great.
Yeah. No, I hear
what's
you.
up, man? It's I appreciate you coming on. I know it was last minute. We had actually planned to do it last week, but it kind of fell through. Just last minute things. Just trying to get everything solidified for the oncoming onslaught that we're going through right now in New York. But
so how's that
I actually
going?
wanted to have you. It's a shit show. It's a disaster. I mean, it's depends who you ask. You have some people who say, "Oh, it's not that big a deal." I don't know what they're looking at, but it's a pretty big deal. It's a huge deal. We actually just got home from food shopping, which is why I didn't get you in time with that link. But we ran in with masks, gloves, everything, and everybody in there had masks. So it's been a mess.
Yeah.
It's been a mess. Yeah,
we're not there yet in Iowa. There's some people being weird, but I mean, Iowa's got so little people by comparison to your state, and our state's way bigger than yours. So,
yeah,
it's just not as big of a deal, it seems, here as it is in some other places.
And I hope it doesn't become that. I just think it's because of the population density, especially in the city. And the problem is you have so many people getting infected in the city. So where I live, we have a lot of people who work in the city and then commute back and forth. So they just brought it back to their families. So, I mean, right now, I think there's like 18,000 NYPD cops all tested positive. So that's about, I want to say about 25% of their, probably like maybe 20% of their police department right now.
Yeah, well, at least where I'm from, they're telling people to just stay indoors and the cops aren't going to show up unless it's super serious. They're not showing up for like small time stuff, thefts, break-ins. But if you're beating your wife or something, they'll probably still show up, I would imagine.
Maybe not, So if you're gonna beat her, now's the time to do it, just so you know.
They take domestic abuse pretty freaking seriously here.
Yeah.
If you're doing that,
Midwestern values,
Right. Yeah. Well,
You
you
can
know
just
what's funny
be
about
true.
that is domestic abuse is usually the most dangerous call to show up to as well,
Yeah. Yep.
because you're looking
Yep.
at getting
Oh yeah.
stabbed by the wife, getting shot by the dude. Yeah,
Listen, I could tell you stories, man. And I was in the fire
I
department. We
bet.
used to run on domestics all the time, and police usually would clear the scene, which basically meant they'd show up. And I remember one time sitting next to this crazy lady, and kind of talking to her and trying to assess her and all this other crap. And my lieutenant at the time grabs me, throws me out of the way, and pulls this giant butcher knife out of the couch. And her hand was right on it, so she could have just gone right in my chest. So that was a rookie mistake. Rookie mistake. So
Yeah,
live and
no, I
learn,
get
right?
that. My best friend Max got stabbed in a trailer park by some meth head lady when he
Jeez.
was trying to stop her husband from beating her. Yeah. What are you gonna do?
Yeah. They hate each other, but they're gonna hate you more if you try to break it up. So
That's true. Yeah, I learned that even when I was way young. If you have a buddy or something, we were out at some party and one of my friends' friends, that works. You feel like 30, 40 people there.
Yeah.
Was smacking around his girlfriend. So I grabbed him and I pushed him and he fell into the campfire a little bit. We were all laughing at him. And then his girlfriend came up and started yelling at me and throwing shit at me. I'm like, okay, if that's what you like, that's what you're into.
That's how people roll, man.
Yeah.
So I wanted to start off with asking you about that new Canic you had. I watched the video. You seemed rather impressed by it.
The 5 or
the tiny one, the subcompact. I'm not a big fan of that 5-inch, but the subcompact, just out of curiosity, because what I had the Elite and then I had the SFX or whatever it was, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what I noticed on the Elite was that around my thumb knuckle, it was so wide in the back that it always just rubbed up my knuckle. So I'm curious to know if you see that, is it the same dimensional pistol width-wise as the SF Elite?
I'd say, yeah. It feels kind of chunkier though. Weirdly, it feels kind of bigger than the one problem I have with the 5-inch is the grip is so narrow for me. I like to put back straps on stuff, and I like it to be a long trigger reach, which is why I like 1911 CVs. But the subcompact, I guess I'm not really sure about that, but the thing I really liked about it is it shot really smooth. Like I was so surprised at how little recoil I felt, I guess.
Yeah.
If that made it for a subcompact, it was really quick.
Now, if you were going to compare that to a Glock 26, you feel the 26 is snappier than that thing?
I don't know. I actually think that they're probably pretty close because the Glock 26 is a super shootable gun for a subcompact. That's what I've always liked about it. And I would say probably the Canic is a little better out of the box. It's just got a better trigger for sure. It's still got that same. It's got the same trigger the 5-inch does. It's 3.5 pound break, super crisp, quick reset. It's a trigger the Glock will never have.
Right.
Unless you go with that. I just got a new custom Johnny Glock trigger. It's like $300. It's pretty close. Pretty close to a $300 Canic out of the box. But the trigger is worth more than the gun.
Jesus, that's crazy, man. So that's the other thing too. Like I saw you posting something on your Instagram about what the hell was that?
That Trinity, Nevada. I made that video today. That video should be up tomorrow morning. That thing is a feat of engineering. I am super excited about that. I was like a little school shooting that thing.
So what the hell is it? What is it?
It's an integrally comped sight block Glock 17. So they just basically cut away the slide, made the front of it a sight. So they just took the concept of the 2011 and just put it in a Glock. Really, I'm surprised it took so long for people to do it. But it shoots flat. And I put it on my OZ9 frame. And if you see the slow-mo footage, it barely moves. I was actually driving it down too much. So it was slowing me down a little bit because I'm so used to pressing down, But yeah, it's fast. But it's also real expensive.
I can imagine. I'm not even going to ask you.
Oh, it's $1,500. You can buy them now if you want to. But $1,500 just for the slide,
Wow. Just for the slide.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit. That's crazy, man.
Yeah, I was a little blown back with the price, but when they asked me, I was like, yeah, I'll try that thing. And
I'll try it too.
And they're like, well, what do you want to do? And I'm like, well, I don't know. Can you give me a discount code or something? And they're going to give me 5%, but 5% off $1,500. I don't know what that is. $75 off. It's still not bad, but
really, that's what it is. Yeah, $75. So
the nice thing about it is that the comp doesn't move and the front sight doesn't move. And the cool part about it is, unlike comped guns, traditionally, if you have a fiber optic sight, you can't have one on a comp gun because it'll blow the fiber optic apart, But this one doesn't. Yeah. We tried that, which is pretty neat. And on top of that, we're not getting any gas back, and we're not having to change the recoil spring. for whatever reason. So I have to talk to them about what the hell they did, but it's pretty impressive.
Yeah. So I saw KS is on tonight on the chat here on the side here, but I saw him.
I don't have anybody up. I gotta pull up the thing so I can see the comment.
Yeah, I saw him post something today where he had that the Oz 9, whatever that is.
The OZ. He's had a lot of problems with this, and I haven't had any with mine, so. But I looked it up after he talked to me, and apparently a lot of people are having issues. So maybe I'm the only one who's lucky. I had to grab my Heineken here, get all big faced.
Heineken, jeez, I've been drinking some hard liquor.
Dude, I've been switching back and forth. I like whiskey, I like vodka, I like anything. I was a bartender for many years, and I'm half like Irish and quarter German and a quarter Viking. So,
so all the good features then.
And I'm from the Midwest. So.
Well, it's been all of our gun shops here are closed down, except for all the liquor stores. All the liquor stores are allowed to remain open because they're essential, but the gun stores were all closed down by the governor, so there's nothing operating. So whatever you could get before everything shut down, and it's been about 2 weeks now. Everybody went crazy. I mean, there was nothing. I've never seen, literally, and I'm not bullshitting anybody. Every shelf was empty. Every shelf, shotguns, ammo. The only things that were left over were like super high-end rifles,
That's how it is here too. Yeah.
I've never seen it before.
Ours are essential. Our gun shops are all still open. I just picked up a gun at my FFL last night. But my dad was born in 1940, and he's lived through a lot of stuff. And he said that he's never seen anything like this. And I was like, yikes, that's a little scary.
No, I bet. But, I know it was crazy. And then when my local gun shop owner, we speak fairly regularly. He was telling me that he was going to stay open and do everything by kind of private appointment, so to speak. But then he said he was done. He said the kind of questions he was getting and all the types of stupid assholes that were coming into the gun shops, giving him a hard time. I mean, I was trying to sell a gun during this time period, and people were offering me $200 extra just to give them the gun. I was like, I'm not going to jail, man. That's not happening right now.
I had literally half a dozen of my friends and family ask me what guns I have available right now, and I may or may not have done some private transfers. Hard to say, but
I'm not saying you should or shouldn't.
Yeah. Well, I for sure sold a Stoeger to my nephew, but we did all the paperwork. He's got a carry permit and all that, but regardless, it's a difficult time for new gun owners right now because you just piled up, ammo's not available. I told everybody to buy 9mm, and then you go to any store, 9mm's not available. No, look like an asshole.
Right.
Like,
listen, like on the last day before everything closed, I wound up picking the new Marlin Dark series and the 30-30.
Oh yeah.
And I had some 30-30 left over, but I didn't have a lot, so that was really literally the only round that was left over. And there was only maybe like 8 to 10 boxes left, so I just bought them all.
So you can find some 40 here. You can find some like 10mm, some weird stuff. But I happen to have a gun in like almost every caliber. I have a 357, 38, 40, 45. Jeez. So I mean, whatever's left, I could shoot. But 17 HMR. I have a Marlin 30-30 myself. I love those guns. I actually have a Rossi 357, Winchester 357. I have a Marlin 40-40. I've got a lot of lever guns too. But
yeah, they're great guns, man. I love them. I absolutely love them. So
I saw TBS the most video about how they said lever guns sucked, and I was like, my dad can light them. Who said that? Yeah, one of them did. I don't remember whose video it was. They have a whole video on it. It's like a couple 100,000 views, but it's probably clickbait.
Yeah, well, it is probably, and because there's a lot of people who are very loyal to that model of gun. People like lever actions. They're either usually older, maybe it's a fairly family heirloom type of gun. But I personally like them. I think they are the one gun that doesn't scare everybody. And that's why I think it's so essential.
Well, they're the one gun that doesn't scare everybody, that actually works extremely well. Like if three people broke into your house, like three tweakers, and they're looking to, I don't know, rape your daughter or something, a lever action will have that covered. 17 rounds of 357 coming at you pretty quick. That's one thing a bolt gun can't do. Even if you had a 30-06 bolt gun or something like that, you can't I mean, you could if you had like an infield or something like that, but you're getting 5, maybe 10 rounds. You can get a whole tube of even 20 rounds sometimes with a lever gun. So it's pretty nice. And, there's a lot of complaints about levers, shooting prone mainly, but that doesn't affect you for home defense.
Right, exactly. I mean, there are practical uses for it, and obviously not. I mean, if you're doing long distance on your belly, lever actions aren't going to be your cup of tea. First off, it's
Well,
not
it's
a
still
long
better than
distance
a handgun.
rifle.
Yeah. I
It
mean, yeah.
is. It is. But I never understood why people discount it so much. I think obviously, especially in 33, you only get about six plus one. So I think that's always a lot of deterrent for people. But I
Sure,
don't know.
but
I've got.
if you look at fight statistics, like
Mm,
like if you've ever looked up the statistics, like people always talk about capacity in shotguns and rifles, like that's a thing. Like if you find
mm.
an actual case of somebody using a shotgun where they fired more than 3 shots, like good luck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like literally every case of home defense, once one round of buckshot goes down range, people are usually getting the fuck out of there. Or like,
Yeah.
you know what I
Right.
mean? So if you fired 6 shots of 30-06 indoors, like, are you telling me there's people going to be in there half deaf trying to steal your
Oh,
TV? No, they're going to be out of
yeah.
there. You know,
I
like,
know. I know. Yeah, you're gonna have some tough time hearing, and
oh yeah,
I don't know. I've always said that, for me, the rifles that I choose to go with everywhere, like right now, if I was gonna pull a gun, put in my truck, it's gonna be a lever action, and
yeah.
just for simplicity, just for the idea that it packs a good punch to it, um, I don't think you can go wrong with that. I mean, obviously, if I lived in a free state, there would be different choices, but this is the choice
Sure.
that works best, I think, for me right now.
I was
So
going to say that
and
being
I haven't had a care.
I have a 308 SBR in my truck. I have an AR-10. Yeah, 10-inch.
308. Oh, shit. Oh man.
That is not fucking around.
I hope you don't plan on shooting that inside your truck because that's gonna be terrible.
Yeah, well, I may have not have shot that out the window of my truck several times. It does what it needs to do. Hillbilly shit stays off the channel.
So we do have to give a shout out to Spec Ops. It's been a while, man. I haven't seen him in a while.
Oh
I'm sure
yeah,
he's dealing
dude.
with family stuff, so I appreciate the $20, man. He says, "Hope all's well. First time sending a super chat. Why not do it for a couple of my favorite YouTube buds?" Well, I appreciate that, man.
Yeah,
That's
he's a
pretty
cool
cool.
guy. For anybody who doesn't know, he's got a pretty killer channel. He hasn't
Yeah, he
posted
does.
in a long time, I don't think, though. At least I haven't checked in a few months, but it's been a while.
Yeah.
It's my boy from Florida.
I know. I wish I was still there sometimes. Jesus.
Yeah. Did you used to live in Florida?
Yeah, I was a fireman down in Florida, right outside of Tampa.
What were you doing? Rescuing gators from meth heads?
Man, we did everything.
I gotta make the
everything. Listen, I'll tell you, man. Like I said, some of the stories I could tell you would make you fucking.
Oh, I
blush.
bet. I bet.
Some of the stuff was so sketchy. Florida's a very sketchy place. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I'd rather have free than safe. So I guess.
Yeah.
That's
true. That is very true. Very true. So what else is going on with you? Like since everything's happened, have you seen any kind of I guess you could say reduction in your time spending outside with just shooting, just because you're worried about ammunition, that type of stuff?
A little for sure. I have 7,000 rounds coming from Phoenix that I have yet to see a order form on. I bought 4,000 from Federal, which I've received. That's what I've got for the next month. And then I have another. I fucking have so much freedom munitions saved up, but that ammo sucks so bad that I try not to use it. I've got a couple thousand seller belt. I've got a lot of ammo saved up. I just try not to use all my reserves until I get new stuff in. But one thing I really did do that I got just lucky for is I sold one of my custom 2011s about a month ago and bought 11 handguns with the same amount of money. Yeah, I sold one for like 4,000 something, and
oh my God.
I bought 11 handguns, so I have a whole bunch of guns to review all the way through the summer. So I'm not worried about it. And I got really lucky because all those guns are double the price now.
Nice.
Yeah, that
the only thing for me.
What was that?
No, go ahead. Say what you're gonna say about the Canik.
That Canik subcompact. My wife liked that so much she might trade that. She might trade her G43 for that. For her new carry gun.
Yeah, she was solid, man. She was solid shooting that thing.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, you've trained her well. If she didn't train you, I don't know. I don't want to be sexist, but
no. My wife actually had never touched a gun before she met me. She'd never even seen one in her life. Yeah, her family.
Yeah, she was good.
She
was real good. I wish I could get my wife to be more active in it.
And then so were her friends. But after the coyote night, there's been a couple other nights where we've actually proven that guns are necessary on a farm. If you live out in the middle of nowhere, you need them occasionally.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and even now in a situation like this up here, people have gone. I don't even know if people understand it. Like there's a few people who have New York channels and they say it's not a big deal by them, but I don't know if it's because of my location. I don't know what it is, but it has been The supermarkets are like bare, man. There's no toilet paper anywhere, which I still do not understand
I
the
don't either.
idea of hoarding toilet paper. We actually found 8 rolls of toilet paper today, and it was like finding gold. It's like we struck gold.
See, it's not so
Fortunately,
bad here that they're rationing it here, And my wife's dad actually got us a whole bunch without telling us. He was just like, go, because apparently they give it to seniors free every morning or something. He's a senior, so he just went there and got a 9-pack every morning for like a week. So we're good to go. And I'm already kind of a prepper anyway, so I have a bunch of stuff stashed. Yeah. Like I have a 6 months worth of food and shit like that. Water purifiers. That's I got a pond in my house, But like I have a lot of natural resources. A lot of people in the cities don't have, So we're more used to being self-sustaining. I mean, we have propane for heat. I have generators. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep. So it was funny when all this stuff was like just beginning and it was hitting Europe after Asia. I told my wife, I said, you know what? I'm going out. Every day I'm going to buy this amount of shit. And she looked at me like I was insane. She's like, you're crazy. I'm like, I'm telling you this is going to hit us. And when it does, people are going to be unprepared. And so thankfully we got a little bit of a jump on it, probably about 2.5 weeks. So we have like, 40 gallons of water and, and I always said water is the most important thing,
Yeah, it is.
Fortunately we got tuna, just canned food, Spam. I got Spam up the ass right now. But it's like, it is kind of nerve wracking. I'm not going to lie to you. Like I've been nervous, going certain places, like, we went for a walk yesterday. And because finally we got about 60-degree weather here, so we went for a walk, and I was carrying 2 guns with me because it's like people roll up on you, you don't know what's going on. My wife again thinks I'm insane, but I said, you know what? It's just crazy.
You got to be safe.
Times.
You got to protect yours. One of the things that situations like this make people understand is that the Second Amendment isn't about hunting. Now it's about protecting yours. And you always have to have priorities. Like I love the human race, don't get me wrong, and I'll help out a person if I can. But if it comes to a random person or my wife, you know which one I'm choosing. So it's the ability to it's having the stuff and the ability to protect the stuff, I guess. And it's just being smart. Like I guess I'm a little less worried, just because I feel like I've kind of already had the coronavirus. I got really sick back from SHOT Show, and I didn't know what the fuck was going on. And I was down for like a week and a half, and my lungs hurt so bad, and I couldn't breathe. And they told me I had bronchitis, and then my wife got it right after that. Yeah. And I was like, well, it couldn't have been COVID because of the timing. But then I looked at the timing, and apparently they were a little hush-hush about it to begin with. And apparently China had it well before the first of the year. And, I mean, you imagine the amount of people from China at SHOT Show. So it seems pretty obvious. But here in Iowa, we've only had one confirmed case in my county, so I'm not overly worried, honestly. And I'm young and I'm fit. I just don't want my parents to get it. I mean, my dad's got lung cancer. And
that's the thing. Like, my parents are elderly, my grandmother's elderly, and it's been rough because, you're trying to stay away from them, but you're trying to see them too. So I've seen them through the window, which is kind of sad when you think about it. But I'll tell you, man, we've had multiple people up here in their 30s, 40s, super healthy people, no medical problems, dead within 3 days.
Oh yeah. That's the strange thing. Some of it is.
It is.
Hey,
holy shit! It's a ghost. It's a phantom.
How are you?
I'm happy to see it. Most of the people on my channel think you're dead. So.
Yeah.
Yes, I am a ghost. That's it.
I might be propagating that rumor. No, I'm
This is the coronavirus ghost, KS Gun Guy.
Yeah.
So welcome, sir. It's been quite a while since we've seen your face. So I figured I'd invite you on and have a little chatty chat with you too as well.
Hey, thanks, man. Thanks for the invite. Really appreciate it.
No problem.
I like this 3 people thing. It makes my head look abnormally big. You got a pretty big head already.
Well, listen, you could have a lump on your eye like I have had for like 3 months. I got a sty on my eye, so then it like
your wife
hardened up when it. Well, the problem is that I had a doctor's appointment to get it removed because I guess they have to slice it open. That's great. And guess what? They canceled the appointment because of coronavirus. So now I got a huge lump. I look like a friggin' mutant, which is great. So everywhere I go, people stare at me and say, "Holy shit, he's got coronavirus." It's like, no.
Tell people you got into a fight saving a little kid or something. Come up with some brave story.
That's definitely what happened. So KS Gun Guy, I saw you post something today, which looked really nice. I what do you like? So tell me a little bit about that gun that you posted today.
Well, so that's the ZevTech OZ9 Compact, the new FDE one, and it's a beautiful gun. It weighs a ton, which I actually really enjoy. So it's super flat shooting, and the trigger is probably the best trigger on a Glock I've ever experienced. I mean, it's really that good out of the box. The only problem is the original barrel on it. It's like some sort of ultra uber match grade freak out barrel that they do, and I think the tolerances are so tight. That's my guess anyway. That it was having quite a few feeding issues. Now, most of the range ammo that I use these days is actually the range ammo from Centerfire, which in most any gun is fine. It's good ammo. It's inexpensive. It still is. They still have it. But it seems to be really finicky on that. It seems to run like Blazer brass, which is a little hotter, pretty well Fiocchi, things like that. But it's still having a few little jam ups here and there. So I switched out the barrel to a different Zev barrel that I had lying around, and it seems to be doing better, although again it still has the occasional hiccup. I think it takes a good break-in. I think their Cerakote's probably a little thick. The rails are weird. They're different. They're not, Glock, for its simplicity, it runs, right? We all know that, but when you try and do things different and try and do them better, it doesn't always turn out that way. So it's still a work in progress, but it's a fun gun to kind of play around with. It's a little on the pricey side, but it's fun.
So I have an OZ9, and we talked about it, and I have a factory barrel in mine, and I've had zero problems. Like, I immediately took out what I don't want to say gross, but it's over the top, right? This is that barrel, because I have one of the bronze ones with the dimpling in it, and I'm just like, damn, son. Like, I don't know if I need to Gucci it up that much. So I threw in the old school black barrel, and I've had no problems. But I've never even tried it with the actual Zev barrel, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, that's a little too expensive for my blood, man. So my question is, okay, so you got that Gucci'd out, whatever the hell it is, hybrid type of Glockish gun, versus that Archon. Which would you choose?
Oh, the Archon, without question. I love that Archon. Still have it. It's just a monster. I absolutely love it. It's
really
weird. It's looks like a space gun. I love that dang thing. But Glocks are fun too, and playing around with different parts and some of the challenges that come with them can be a lot of fun too. So it's a totally different deal. I would never, ever, ever trust my life to that. And that could come in time, perhaps. If it'll run flawless for a couple thousand rounds, yeah, I'd feel fine with it. But you got your purpose tool guns, and then you have your fun do whatever guns.
That's so true, right? Yeah.
Let me ask both of you this. Go ahead on.
No, I was just going to say that Trinity, Nevada slide, I'm going to review tomorrow. That's so cool. It's so awesome. But I would never carry that damn thing. Never. Just because I'm such a traditionalist. I just buy a gun out of the box, and if I'm going to carry it, that's what I carry. I might change the sights, but that's it.
Yeah.
So do either one of you feel slightly disappointed? Maybe not so much you, Honest, but definitely Chaos. Do you feel slightly disappointed that you drop a lot of money into that stuff, and then it doesn't necessarily work up to your standards, so to speak?
Oh, it's a good question. Yeah, to a degree. I would have to be honest, but I like the premise behind it. In fact, I've got, as soon as Zev can get it out, a different grip, the X version of the grip too. I like the modularity, and I like how they put the system together. So the concept and theory behind it, I like quite a bit. And if I can get it to run well, awesome. That's even better. And I'll tell you, I contacted their customer service even during all this craziness that we're in and amongst, and talked to a young lady. She was working from home in Washington, and she was as nice as the day is long and was on top of it immediately. And so that's really good customer service. And not knowing, whatever the KS thing is or was, but I just am just me, customer me, and she took very good care of me. So kudos to that. So their warranty program, they stand behind their stuff really well. Now, I have not sent the whole gun in for anything, and I don't want to do that during this time because I don't know if or when I'll ever see it. So that might be what it is. But yeah, it's a little frustrating, but I don't mind the challenge. And I must admit, I took a little bit of advantage during this time, and I sold about a dozen guns. So I had a little extra money lying around, and I'm going to wait for those Dan Wesson DWXs for the next 300 years. So I might as well do something a little bit different.
So I told,
All right.
I don't know if I told you, but I said on my channel that when I saw that DWX, I knew that damn thing wasn't going to be out this year.
Yeah.
Like when they told me that the thing was unfunctional, I was like, so what? You're going to have this ready by April? You're going to have it ready in 3 months? You're going to, beta test it and everything? Like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, right.
I mean, no way.
And now with everything that's going on, I mean, it's not coming out. I mean, I could never see that thing coming out this year.
Have you
Who
guys
the hell's going to buy it? No.
Oh, it's cool. The compact is awesome. It feels like a PO set, or feels like a PO1 with a 2011 trigger.
That looks awesome.
Damn. That's
Hey,
nice.
Big Johnson.
What's up, gentlemen?
What's up, man?
Yeah, I figured out I'd invite the other guy. So people have been bitching that we're not answering any questions. So I've got to try to attempt. I know. I gotta start paying attention to them, or they get mad. It's fine. So I apologize, guys. So if you got questions, just start asking them. I'll pull them up and then we'll answer them. But basically, this chat is kind of an impromptu chat. I planned on having Honest on last weekend, just on this this side chat that I do every once in a while. Didn't work out. I just had so much shit going on, and I'm sure he did as well. So I invited him on tonight, last second, because I got kind of like cramped at the supermarket. It was crazy. People, anyway. So then, I saw KS's face around here. So I'm like, fuck it, let's invite KS. And then I said, let's invite Big J. So here we all are, 4 guys chatting about guns and the apocalypse, which is always great. They kind of go hand in hand with each other, actually, when you think about it.
They really do.
So
there's actually
hold on.
a question that goes right along with that. Did you see Dexter's question that says, do you think the used market will get flooded or people will wake up? If flooded, what will you be deal hunting for?
Well, I could say, I'll speak for New York. I guarantee you the used market is going to blow up when this is all done, because there were people buying guns that had no business owning guns to be in the, they own in the first place. The problem is none of them are going to be handguns. They're all going to be long guns, because you have to go through a whole process just to get a pistol here. So that's going to be the only downside for me here in this state.
Well, luckily in Iowa, that's not the case. So I'll have a whole bunch of stuff to look forward to in about a year. So that'll be good.
Yeah. It's so at Centerfire, I was watching people walk in the door. This was 2 weeks ago, maybe 2-3 weeks ago, whatever it was. And they were literally just walking in the door saying, I want a gun. And that is fine. I mean, I support new people having guns. I think it's great. Welcome aboard. But it's so funny. There was a lot of expectation that you would say, I want a gun. Here's a gun. Okay, thanks. Bye. And it really, obviously, we all know that that's not the case. That's not how it works. And when everybody across the country was doing this, it shut NICS down for a lot of states. In fact, some states just totally shut it down. And then sometimes it was so bogged down. In Kansas, it just got so bogged down, it would shut down. And so people were being delayed for a week or 2 weeks or whatever it was. And I mean, it really was absolute pandemonium without question.
Yeah, they're 2.7 million behind or something like that now. The NICS background checks are. Yeah, I mean, oh my God! Like the nice thing about this is that people are starting to wake up and they're starting to realize the Democratic bullshit about not having background checks, not having waiting limits, all that exists. You have to fill out paperwork, you have to have a permit. Like there's a lot of things that people were bullshitting about now that so many other people are going to find out. Like that meme that was going around, Californians just realized the 10-day waiting period's real. Like they totally did, and that makes me laugh.
Yeah.
Right. What about you, Big Johnson? What's up with you there, buddy?
I think in my area, we'll probably have some trade-ins. We had, people coming in and buying guns. I can't say there were people who never bought guns ever in their whole life that I saw, but I don't know if it's going to be a ton of used markets. Hopefully, and I pray that people will keep the guns and learn how to use them and train themselves and get training and, kind of come to our side. I don't want it to be a one done. And some people might look at it this way. It was really difficult for me to get this gun. I saw what happens during hard times, so I'm going to hang on to this gun. Some will, some won't, or if they bought 15 guns, they might get rid of half of them, so.
Yeah. So Double B asked a question, I'm assuming to me as well as KS, and I know, Honest, you said you sold you sold that $4,000 gun and was able to buy several guns from it. So what did you wind up parting with, KS?
God, what all did I get rid of? Got rid of a Canik Combat Elite. Oh man, I'll have to sit back and think. I got rid of my P320 X Compact. Don't worry, I still have one, but now I've got the 17, whatever. It's the same one you got.
The RXP. The RXP.
Yeah, exactly.
That thing's awesome.
It is a fantastic gun. By the way, I switched out for the Apex trigger bar. Love it. And it just other odds and ends or duplicates or whatever. A lot of just 9mm handguns that I just simply do not ever use, and probably won't ever notice that they're gone.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I sold. God, what the hell did I sell? I'm in the process of trying to sell one of my APXs. I'm actually ditching the RDO, unfortunately, because the RXP SIG is just great. I absolutely love that gun. And then I'm keeping the FN 509 MRD because that gun is just rock solid. Plus, I threw a bunch of springs in there, and the gun is just amazing. It's absolutely amazing. And then, you know, and I'm starting to really have a hate relationship with Beretta because they do not back that damn gun, and it just pisses me off. They released it, a lot of fanfare, and all of a sudden, whoosh, that's it, done. And now people can buy them for $220. So I'm trying to sell mine, but I'll probably have to give it away to somebody for free. So we'll see how that plays out.
Wait a minute,
a couple other guns. Yeah, the APX.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna buy that from you. Actually, I need to get one of those. We talked about that earlier.
Listen, I'm selling it cheap, man. So
okay, well, I need people.
I'll raise the price for you though. So
I don't have one soon. Beretta guys are crazy. They're like, how come you haven't had the APX? He's like, because no one else does. And they're like, I'll kill you.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. I have two of them, so I'm keeping one and I'm selling the RDO because, again, there's just not a lot of support for it. But I like the APX, so that's why I have the other one. So and it doesn't have the optic, which is fine. You know, I only have two optics, so one of them is on my FN 509, and the other one is on my Marlin. It's my 3030. So and then I have the RXP, and I actually did sell the P10S. That bad boy's gone.
I need to get one of those too.
I just, you know what it was? I don't know what it is, but I still think the P10C is arguably the better one of the two. But that's just my opinion.
I sold my P10C and I kept the P10F. I like the big guy.
Yeah. Well, I would too if I could have that much, and you know, those many rounds. But I only have 10, so the thing's like a banana handle. So it's
yeah,
like,
I get that. The 19 is nice.
Yeah. So. But other than that, I mean, it's slow. Like I said, all the gun shops are closed right now, so it doesn't matter anyway. We can't buy anything here, so you know, we'll see how it plays out.
Which is bullshit. I mean, like in half the states, gun places are essential. So I mean, it's amazing. Right. New York just decided, fuck you, we're good. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Not to mention the fact that he's like rocking nipple piercings in one of those pictures.
Yeah.
Your governor there, whoever the fuck that is, Cuomo, I forget.
You know, Cuomo, yeah, he's, you know what, the problem with him is he's been on every day, and initially he was very good. I'm not going to lie, and I hate the guy. I'm absolutely anti-Cuomo. But he was very good. He was being very upfront with everything, and then I would say over the last week, everything has been complain, and then you start to realize, well, wait a second, in 2015, you were told by, the Health Commission that you were needing ventilators in case there was ever a future pandemic, and he chose not to spend the money on that. So, you know, I mean, we can him and haw all we want, but at the same time, stop bitching. You know, just get what we need here. And it's kind of shocking because when you see the nurses and the doctors and the medics and the first responders out there, and they don't have the right equipment, I mean, that's shocking. It's a disgrace when you have frontline people who don't even have the stuff they're supposed to have in order to be not only, you know, help the patient, but also to protect themselves so they don't go home getting sick. And it's just, this is as close to a naturally, or I should say, as close to a man-made / natural disaster you can get up here in New York. And I just hope that whatever happens, knock on wood, they're saying this is going to be the worst week for us. Last night there was, in one day, we had 2,500 people dead, you know, and I think when this is all done, hopefully soon, rather than later, I hope they really take a hard, long look at their policies and what they've been doing, because there are a lot of people who died and probably should not have died. And
Yeah,
it's a shame.
but let's
It
be
really
honest.
is.
Is it really that shocking? I mean, we elect our politicians based on the dumbest fucking rules whatsoever, and we are surprised that they're incompetent. I mean, have you ever seen any documentary where they like secretly tape a politician? I mean, the dumbest fucking people on earth, like Nancy Pelosi.
Right.
I wouldn't want her to like lead me out of a Walmart, let alone lead me out of a disaster.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's fucking amazing to me that these are the people that we have as our leaders of the free world during this disaster. And that's one of the things that's going to change after this, because people really are scared, and they're not going to vote based on the old norms anymore. Like, abortion isn't going to be a big thing anymore. It's going to be, how do they handle disasters? How do they, you know what I mean? Like, there's going to be a big difference when it comes to our government after this. Like, all the bullshit and all the backhanding hopefully is going to slide down a little bit, and we're going to actually have to vote based on competence.
Hopefully.
Yeah, but there's a lot of stupid people too, right? So you never know.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's why we have a goddamn Kardashian as our president right now, basically. You know what I mean? Like, it's amazing. In the Republican Democrat fights, and then Trump's done worse for the gun owners of America than Obama did. I mean, like, the blue and red line seems a bit ridiculous at this point.
So we have Valhalla is my heavens, gave $1.99 to the chat, saying rights unused are rights lost, and I think that is a good. What's that?
I said I wouldn't fuck with that guy. That's his username.
You know who this is, right? You guys know who this is, right?
Yeah.
Tell him who it is. He'll probably know it.
Wicked Sensation.
Yeah, it's Wicked.
Oh yeah, I love that guy. Yeah.
Wicked Sensation. He changed his name.
A good username.
Yeah, he got
like
sick of being
called
called
on a bridge
Wicked.
and
So.
fight some savages.
Yeah. He's very jealous of the size of my arms, so it's okay, dude. Let me tell you, I've been eating so much, man. I've been eating, sleeping. I'm working too, so I know a lot of people say, "Oh, you're not even working." I'm working. I have to go to work. Some days I have to go. Most of the days I stay at home and work. But I don't even like going to work. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't missed a day, so I mean, I don't know. I've been working the whole time, at least. Oh shit!
Yeah, so
I saw Balding Curious is getting at me.
Let's see. Honest data will change. All the freeloaders are getting checks bigger than they saw in their entire life, and they'll keep voting Dems.
I guess.
And that is true. Listen, I live next door to somebody who's getting a pretty sizable check, and has not worked a day in probably the past 5 years. It's unbelievable. It really is. It's unbelievable. But you know what?
I've been self-employed for 15 years, so I don't even know how that feels, honestly.
Yeah.
I hope that anyone who's not able to work right now for whatever reason during the pandemic, that when everybody's able to go back to work, that they would be clawing to get by. I mean, I've been working at home and it drives me bananas. Yeah. I can't stand it. I'm sitting in this room every day for 9.5 hours or so. I roll out of bed at 6 a.m. in my pajamas, grab some coffee, and start working. And I can't wait to go back downtown and work the normal stuff and be with humans and all of that. I mean, I'll take the driving, I'll take the pain, and I wonder as I went to the grocery store earlier today, and everybody seems to be a little slower. They're taking their time a little bit more, and almost everyone smiles and does one of these things. And maybe it's a stay back, but I don't think that's it. I think I'm in the same boat you're in, sort of thing. I mean, it's kind of an odd, weird deal, Yeah.
Well, hopefully it's a positive, but the thing that worries me is a lot of my friends that are out of work right now. I mean, man, they don't know how they're going to pay their bills. They don't know how, like, a lot of people don't have stuff saved up. And if you're a waitress or you're a cook or you're a grocer or any number of things that are out of work right now, living paycheck to paycheck, I mean, anybody under 25, essentially, at least anybody under 30, it's super scary. I mean, not knowing what the future is. And, I hope those people at least figure out a way to make it through.
Right, and I think that's the key to this too. There's so many there's a lot of collateral damage. Period. I know, especially in New York, the lines of people who are online for food by me is incredible. It's just incredible, and it's not to sit here and say, well, maybe they could have done something differently, but I don't think anybody expected this. I really don't. and I don't know, like I said, my biggest fear is something happening to a family member, my parents, my grandmother, even my wife and kids, um, and even myself, I guess, to an extent. But it's worrisome, and I just hope that none of you guys where you live right now have to go through what this state went through. And it's not over. It's not over. We're talking like, another week before we hit the peak and all that other shit. But there's no guarantee it's going to be a week. They don't know if it's going to be this week, next week, or God knows.
Yeah.
And then
they keep saying that.
Aftermath.
They keep pushing it back and pushing it back. I mean, it could be months.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be months before we see toilet paper again.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I know.
You
Just
start
buy
using
baby wipes, man.
Old T-shirts, you'll be all right.
Yeah. I mean, heck, I've been furloughed for a week. So I've been off without pay and stuff. But I mean, I have some savings and stuff, but still, it's not a good situation for anybody to be put in that. But I'm freaking out too. I mean, I'm like, ready to go do stuff. Ready to go see people and get stuff done. I mean, it's definitely definitely not a good thing right now.
Yeah. Well, this allowed me to fix my garage floor, and then I put down this stuff on it to make it look really pretty. I actually had a bunch of like old stuff that I had to shred. So my job, I can actually have it shredded there, but unfortunately nobody can get in there. So I actually took my fire pit and burned all my old stuff today. It's been, like I said, I see, I'm fortunate because I got 2 kids. I have the wife, the 2 dogs, so we've been out and about, we've been taking walks, and it's good because things have slowed down. So there's a positive to all of this,
Yeah.
And I think that hopefully when it goes back to the normal, it doesn't go back to the normal. That's what I'm hoping for.
I hear you.
Because there really has been a reconnection for a lot of people, and I think that's good.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So Nick, there are no aftermarket Steyr triggers. There's no aftermarket anything really for Steyr.
Yeah.
A great gun, but there's just nothing there. Sorry.
So Steyr doesn't bother to waste money on things like marketing and aftermarket.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
they don't even waste their money sending guns to the U.S. anymore, apparently, because you can't find any of the newer ones. So
Trijicon offers like one set of sights for them if you don't like those sights.
Yeah, and then Access made them, but then they discontinued them. So unfortunately, that's too bad. So
what have you been up to, Big J? I haven't talked to you in a while.
Well, for about a week and a half, been doing stuff at the house. It's just a weird situation right now for everybody. I mean, I know I'm not the only one in it. It's strange, but we're going to press through it. Hopefully, all the divisions that we've had in the country, I don't know if it's going to make it stronger after all this is said and done. Hopefully it will. But then again, the day after everything's okay, it'll probably go back to craziness. But I don't know. I mean, we're pressing through the best we can.
Now, Big Johnson, I'm wondering, have you cleaned every single closet that you have in the house yet? I'm finding with the boredom, the extra time, especially on the weekends or whatever. I have gone through every closet, pulled out clothes and all sorts of junk, thrown a bunch of stuff away. Have you done that yet?
I've been doing it. Probably not as drastic. I've been getting the gun room and stuff squared away, ammo, accessories, trying to bag stuff because I have like 9 million mags and they're just thrown in buckets. So I've been like taking the mags and saying, okay, these are all this mag. These are all, trying to kind of get stuff in order. Cleaning some guns, not a lot. Been doing a lot of dry fire. Just kind of trying to stay busy so I don't just go crazy.
Has your wife tried to kill you yet?
Pretty much.
Yeah, I believe it. Let's see. Guy Comment said he saw the lube manual for a CZ75 model gun, and it calls for oil on the back half of the firing pin. Do you follow the lube guidelines from CZ? Any of you guys follow that?
I've never once done that, but
no.
I've never read any manual for any firearm ever.
Now, if you're doing a full blown disassembly like we've talked about before, you're installing a Cajun Gunworks kit or something like that, I would do assembly lube at that time. But I really don't put any lube on the firing pin, itself. And I know it's the back, but I don't really do that. Nope.
I put some on the trigger connector on striker fired guns, but
Yeah.
So Pistol saying I wouldn't oil that too much, and then guy comment says yes, the CGW kit you should oil. So I don't know. I guess do whatever you want to do. At the end of the day, I mean, I put a little bit of grease in the 365 when I did the spring kit on that thing, but that was really more to hold everything in place while I started to reinstall it. Do I feel like it was necessary? I don't think so, but what do I know? You know. So KS, you said something interesting. You said you put on the Apex trigger bar on your 320X compact. Is that correct?
That's right, and a Gray Guns return spring, because P320s, the post-recall P320 return springs are crap, super slow return. So that Gray Guns, or whatever it is, Gray Ghost, Gray Guns, whatever, it's a little bit more powerful and gets that trigger back a little bit faster. But between the two, it just shortened up the distance. The poundage is exactly the same, but your pre and post travel are slightly less, but noticeable. Seems to work pretty well, and it was super easy. There's an easy method to get that damn spring out. I wish I knew about it years ago.
Yeah. I did it on my X5. I put the trigger bar and the spring in it, and there's that quick, that little quick way you can do it, and it does make it a hell of a lot easier.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Very easy.
See, I put the Apex, the full kit in the carry model, but I have not done it in the compact. And I have to say, I've been very happy with the trigger out of the box on that compact. Although I haven't shot it, of course, but just from what I've noticed, obviously the take up is a little bit longer, but it's a nice trigger. I mean, poundage wise, it's about the same poundage, and it just feels like it is the best SIG trigger I've had on any SIG by far. Is it perfect? No. But I mean, it's pretty solid, man. I was very, very impressed with that gun so far. So we'll see. We'll see if it sucks or not. I don't think it will.
Honest, you said that you got rid of a 2011. Which one did you get rid of?
My sight block Atlas.
Oh,
the one I never showed on the channel.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't sure which one I wanted between that and the standard Hyperion. But the funny part is, now my wife loved the damn Athena so much, I'm gonna hopefully mill my Hyperion for a red dot because she wants that as her gun. And I was
that
like,
Athena was ridiculous, man. That Athena was awesome. That's an.
I have never been able to run my plate rack at 90 yards before. It's like 6-inch plates, and that gun could do it. I couldn't even believe it when I hit it. Like I was doing it and messing around in front of my friends one time, and I just hit one, and I'm like, "What the fuck?" So I just started shooting at him again, and could run them. Yeah.
Jeez.
That's why people got mad at me too. They're like, "Have you ever shot a this and this and this, a Pardini GT or whatever?" I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Yeah." I saw Pardini at SHOT Show, by the way. They have no interest in selling any of their guns. Good for them.
Well, now why is that?
I don't know. They just seemed like they didn't give a shit. I was talking to them, and I was trying to get an interview at them. They wouldn't do an interview, and they had their gunsmith there, which is never a good sign. They didn't have a marketing person or anything. And I was like, "You guys have such awesome guns. You should do some more promotion." They're like, "Why?" I'm like, "Okay."
I guess that's a great attitude.
Yeah. Go nuts. But there's some other guns that are almost as accurate as the Athena. But have you ever tested anything that's really as accurate as a custom 2011? I mean, that's the whole point. Like, especially of an open gun, like a $7,000 Infinity, which is basically what an Atlas is,
Jesus.
Like, it's so unreal. I mean, like just the bench accuracy, you're talking like 2 inches at 100 yards, I mean, rifles can't do that.
But we're not talking the average shooter. We're talking a shooter who is by far above average. I mean, I would consider myself average, if not.
That gun is ridiculous.
Oh yeah, you're okay. Yeah, you're okay. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't think I could do that with that gun. I really don't. I mean,
my wife
I'm average.
IPSC plates at 50, and I mean, you know what I mean. Like literally, it's a 1 pound trigger and a red dot. So it's like shooting a video game, and it has almost no recoil either. So you can just pile off.
The weight definitely helps.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. And which is cool about the Athena too, is just like the Hyperion, they're not overly heavy. If you've had like an Infinity, for example, that's 48 ounces. I mean, it handles recoil great, but it comes out of the holster slow. It transitions slow. Like that Athena has that lower recoil, and it's still only 37 ounces. So it feels like a Beretta kind of. Like a Beretta's around 30-ish, 35. Yeah. It's fast. I mean, it's real fast, which I like. But yeah, it's the greatest gun I've ever shot.
You still have your TSO?
Are you going to be?
What's that?
Do you still have your TSO?
I don't. I ended up buying another Shadow 2 instead. I like the Shadow. I don't like the single action trigger just because I can't do as much with it.
Yeah.
As far as like divisions wise,
Yeah.
You ever going to consider doing a 92X?
Yeah. No, that's in the works. I was going to buy one before the whole thing, but then I decided to buy 10 or 11,000 rounds of ammo instead.
That might be the wise,
very good choice.
wise investment. Yeah.
Yep.
It's getting dark in here. It's starting to look like a horror movie, but I only got 5 minutes left. I'm gonna push. So, my question I'd like to hear: what's the greatest gun you guys have ever shot? Because mine's a custom Atlas for sure.
Jeez.
Well, one of the nicest guns I've ever shot was an Akai. It was X-Rings, and it had the tungsten wrap barrel. I mean, it was crazy. My personal gun, TSO, Shadow 2s, 1911s, stuff like that. But what about you guys?
Mine, I was answering Harry, but mine would probably be the Combat Master. I absolutely love shooting that gun. It's so easy to shoot. It's so easy. I mean, that slide sensation is really exaggerated with that gun, and it's kind of an interesting connection with it. So that's probably the nicest gun I've ever shot.
I mean, I feel kind of like the poor kid in the house because I don't have any experience with any of those guns. I mean, I shot the Shadow 2. It was fine. I mean, I know a lot of everybody loves that gun. I just have never been taken by that gun. I don't know what it is, but it was funny because I was watching my video I made between the 19X and the 4¼ inch M&P 2.0, and these guns are like, there's not even a comparison to the shit you guys are talking about. But I swear to God that the 19X, I still love that gun. Even though I sold it, for me, it was a great shooting gun. Super easy to shoot for me. I just have never really had a high-end gun. Like I've never had one, which is kind of a shame to say it, but maybe one day. I'm looking at an Archon at some point, maybe this year, just because I've had interest in the gun. But every time I look at it, I'm just like, I don't know. And then I saw KS's picture today. I'm like, son of a bitch, So I just have to, maybe put some money towards that because they had one in my local store used, but it was a full size, and they just wanted crazy money for it. And I think I called you and Big Johnson on that. I'm not sure. I can't remember. It was a while ago, and it was pretty cool. But I did see some videos that people were having really bad problems with them, so I was like, forget it. I'm not even going to touch it. But I don't know. Maybe at some point the Archon will be something I bring in, but I'm not sure. Like I've never had that experience with anything super high end.
What's the regulations on me sending you a gun? Could I send you a gun if you had 10 round mags? Because I have an Accu Shadow with the CZ custom trigger and an SRO, and I can promise you that if you can't hit out to 100, you're blind. Like that gun is so ridiculous, and I could easily send that to you. And you could.
So the only problem with that whole scenario is it takes a long time because what has to happen is once the gun comes in, I have to go to the sheriff's office, put it in for a new coupon, wait about 2.5 to 3 weeks to get the coupon, bring the coupon to my gun shop, pick the gun up, test it, basically fire it, and then bring it back to my gun guy, go back up to the sheriff and have it removed off my license. It's a long process, man. Let's put it that way. It's a long process.
If you want me to make you feel bad, the process on my end, if you were to send me a gun, is I drive up to my buddy who is an FFL, and I fill out the same form I've done a gazillion times, and I just walk out with it.
Wow, that's great. Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
And it doesn't matter it doesn't matter if it's 1 or if it's 20 in one day.
Yeah,
me too.
Yeah. How did I know you were going to say that, guys?
Yeah.
Wow, what a shocker.
Oh, and we get to use the full mags.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I know. It's like, and everybody always comments, "Oh, I like the gun, except that it has 10 round mags." I'm like, yeah, I know. Thank you, guys. I mean, it's whatever. Still the same fucking gun, just 10 rounds.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, there's not much difference between that Athena and my Accu Shadow. I mean, you'd have to really be a real connoisseur to notice. I mean, there's a little bit, but that's the good thing about Shadow 2s is just for a quarter of the money of that Athena, you can get 99.8% the way there.
Yeah.
I mean, they're fast and they're real accurate. I mean, my buddy and I have hit out to 150 with my Accu Shadow on IPSC targets. Yeah, I mean,
That's crazy.
once you get dialed in, you're good to go. Once you get your drop, I mean, you're talking like the full size IPSC target. People, it's not a 6-inch plate. I mean, you can bang into them.
You can lob them in there.
That's cool.
Oh yeah, but I mean, they're fun.
All right, so we're coming up to the 9 o'clock hour. So I will, as always, leave you guys with whatever it is that you want to say to this fine group of people who showed up tonight. Obviously, we hit over 100, which has nothing to do with me, obviously. That definitely has something to do with the guests on here tonight. So I'll let you guys speak one at a time. So Honest, what do you got coming soon here, sir?
I have a ton of shit coming. I have a bunch of budget stuff coming, another budget top 5. I have the top 5 most accurate pistols. I purchased a whole bunch of guns that I wanted to test, like the SIG P10 Target and a bunch of other really accurate stuff. We're going to be doing lots of long-range pistol stuff and rifle stuff and a whole bunch of pandemic stuff.
Cool.
But we're trying to do 4 videos a week, hopefully.
So I would ask KS, but I don't know. So what do you got going on, man?
Well, I'm heavily involved in guns still, very much so. 20 or 30 hours a week, just for funsies, and having a good time with it, and still trying out different guns and that sort of thing. Just not publishing it quite so much, but I'm getting kind of bored, and I still have a camera, so you never know. But the table is still set, basically. I have to put some lights back up. But anyway, listen, it's awesome to see the gang together, and all these awesome faces in the crowd, or names in the crowd. So many recognizable faces and names, that sort of thing. So it's a lot of fun, and it's good to hear all of your voices.
Good.
Big Johnson, you're next, sir.
Of course, I want to thank the chat room. Thank you for having me on this evening. Great to talk to you guys too. Take care of yourself and your family. Stay self and stay well and safe and all that good stuff. And on the channel, I mean, I've got some stuff I'm going to review. It's kind of hard if I don't just take stuff out of a box and review it and say, oh, this is awesome, buy it. I like to test it and wear it and carry it. But I mean, I've been wearing guns around the house and stuff, but want to get a little more use out of some stuff before I do reviews, but we'll see how it goes. But, thank you so much for having me on, and, you guys too. I appreciate it so much.
All right. And same as everybody else, thanks guys for joining us tonight. I appreciate you guys actually wanting to sit and speak with me for an hour. That's always great. And, it's been a while since I did a Sunday chat, so I'll see how it goes. I don't know, maybe every other week, but for me, I'm not really doing anything. I mean, nothing's open, so there's no ranges. Bald and Curious has invited me a couple of times up to him, but we probably wind up fighting at some point. So I've decided not to go there. So
we're hugging.
I'm just gonna leave it at that. Yeah, we're not hugging. Trust me, we're not gonna hug.
Whatever you do, don't fight.
What's that?
Whatever you don't fight, hug.
Well, what's going to happen? He's going to say, I'm going to hit it 5,000 yards from here. And then I'm going to say, all right, I can hit it 5,002 yards from here. Yeah. And then it's just going to get worse. And we're going to
break out the rulers and start measuring them.
Yeah. But I probably do something with that new Marlin. Unfortunately, I can't shoot it because my neighbors will call the cops, but at least do some form of tabletop and the usefulness of the Marlin, and why I still think those lever actions have a place for everybody. But other than that, I hope you guys don't have this stuff coming to you. I hope you are all safe. I hope your families are safe. And that's it. I've got nothing else for you. I just hope everybody is okay. And hopefully you guys go back to work soon if you're out of work. And we ride this wave out of here at some point. So other than that, guys, have a great night. And I'll see you next time.
See you guys.
Thanks, everyone. Carry on. Take care.